Dear parents, greetings from OnlySuccess Leadership Academy. Here comes another exam. What kind of reactions do you see at home? Some children, very cool, very confident. Some children, lot of fear, anxiety, nervousness, stressed out. Mixed reactions, right? How come this word exam, creates so many mixed reactions? The exam is only one word, but you will see different reactions from different students. Why? Because many times children actually associate a kind of negative emotions like fear with the exam. And the moment they attach a negative emotion, definitely their performance will be affected. Am I right? Or it manifests, that fear manifests when it becomes very strong. It manifests in the form they complain of a headache, nausea all the time. Many times you will see children with loss of appetite, they don't want to eat food. Sometimes they get irritated very easily. You tell them something, they become very upset, and my mind totally blanked out and I couldn't remember anything. What is happening here? Because this negative emotion, fear, is manifesting in the form of so many things. Correct? And this fear is a term which creates different pictures in different people. Because every word we use, it creates a picture in our mind. So when I speak to students, because we have a program called Be a Champ where a lot of students join. So when I speak to them, when I counsel them, I keep asking them what exam means to you, what it represents. So I had got some interesting answers. There's one student who came and said, Nirmala, exam is like one torture chamber. My teacher pushes me in and she allows me there for 3 hours where constant torturing would be done because I have to finish every question on time and teachers will be invigilating and I can't turn this way, that way, so it is like a torture chamber. And there are some students who came and told exams are like monsters. Every subject is like a monster. Especially physics, it's the biggest monster because they don't like that subject. Or there are students who come and tell exams are like hell. That period is like a hell. At school, my teachers are so strict and I have to finish all that exams in that time constraint. So it is like I am cooked, I am fried in that time. At home, the situation is also the same. My mother is always strict. My father is so serious. So it's like a hell to me. That period is like a hell. So the moment they represent this word in the form of these kind of pictures, definitely their performance will be affected. And apart from that, what are the causes of this fear? Because children do go through different kind of fears. There are students who go through this fear of not being enough. This is the most commonest fear I've seen. And how this comes? This comes because parents keep saying or saying that all the time, nagging their children to work, to study. The moment they go out 5 minutes, they keep coming, calling them back and say, come, study again. Why are you taking so many breaks? So there is a constant vigil by the parents. That is what creates that. Am I not capable enough? Is that the reason why my my parents are always behind me? So that is creating a fear of not being enough. Or that actually brings down their self-esteem also a lot. Because what is self-esteem? Self-esteem is feeling lovable and capable. If you don't feel lovable, if you don't feel capable, naturally your self-esteem goes down. The moment it goes down, it creates that fear again. And similarly, there are certain times, parents who keep constantly, I have seen parents actually who actually say a lot of things in front of their children. When the child is there, right in front of them, they say, oh, my child never studies. When exam comes, he's always playful, he never focuses and I'm finding tough time. Exams are not for him, it is for me. So these kind of talking they do in front of children, definitely it has an impact. Parents, you may be thinking your child is not listening to you or not noticing you, but understand this, whatever you say, whatever you do has a lot of impact on the child's quality of life. Correct? So this is very important. And a lot of times I've seen parents who actually compare. Why you are having this? Why you are not able to perform? See, your friend is doing so well. See, your brother he's doing so well. Sometimes they talk to others saying that his eldest brother does very well. I don't know what is wrong with this guy. He's the only one who is not performing well. So when you create these kind of comparisons, it creates that fear of not being enough. Correct? So you have an answer now. So if this is the situation, you know what are the things you need to do to change those. I don't have to tell you. And apart from that, I have seen children who have this fear, a constant fear of failure. And especially it comes from those children who have already failed once or who had done very poorly before. So they keep on thinking, what if the same thing repeats again? What if the questions are again tough? What if I'm not able to answer it? I would call that as a fear of failure. So what if I fail? So again, so that fear creeps in and that cripples them a lot. And there are a set of students who also have a fear of rejection. So they are more worried about the results. What if my results are not well, and how would everyone say? What would everyone say? How would my parents react? Or what will my teachers say? Forget about teachers and parents. How about my friends? What would they say to me? Will they include me in their group? So these kind of fears. Because as a human being, we want to be included in a group. We are social animals, right? We want to be in a group. So the moment that that fear comes in, whether I will be included in a group or not, will my result will actually separate me from my own group, whom I connect with a lot. So that creates a fear. I would call it as the fear of rejection. So these kind of fears actually cripples them a lot, brings their performance down. So the question now is, as a parent, what is that I need to do? Correct? So that is what we are going to talk about. So the first thing is this: as a parent, be there for them emotionally. That is very important. So when I say being there emotionally, what does it mean? It means very simple. Letting them know that these kind of emotions are very, very normal. Accept these emotions. So because many times, I have seen adults who, the moment child comes and complains, I have fear for the exam, I have fear of this. Say, fear? Why are you fearing? What is there? It is just an exam, right? You just go write and come back. Why you have this kind of fear? How come he doesn't have? Why you are having? So those kind of things they say, the child thinks, feeling that fear is something not normal. So the moment the child feels it is not normal, the child will not express himself anymore because he feels it is not normal to feel fear, so I better not speak about it. So they start denying it. Many times, I have seen children, they have that fear. They talk to me, I could see from their physiology, from their face, from the way they behave themselves, they have a lot of fear. They say, no, I don't have any fear. Which means what? They're actually denying it. The moment you deny it, it is not going to go away. It is still there. Correct? So it is going to actually accumulate and it is going to intensify more. It is not wrong to experience certain emotions. Say a tiger stands in front of you, you don't have fear, what would happen? You would die. So emotions tell us something is wrong. Especially the fear tells us, hello, something is dangerous, you better get away from here. Correct? Say for example, if a child do not have an exam fear, how would they perform? Are they going to prepare for it? Definitely not. Because I do have consultations from parents where they come and say, my child, don't worry about exams at all. Exams come, he is just as cool as a normal day and he doesn't even prepare. Why would he prepare? Because what makes us prepare is that fear, correct? So having that or experiencing certain emotions is very, very natural because they tell us that something is wrong. Even the positive emotions tell us that something is going good, correct? Every emotion has a meaning. So better accept them and let your child know that it is very normal to go through these emotions. So once they know that my mother is accepting this, my dad is accepting this, it becomes, they feel comfortable to share with you. Once they share with you, once they discuss with you, it becomes easier for them to handle those emotions, right? So that is the most important thing as a parent you need to do. Discuss with them. Create a comfortable environment where they could actually feel good to share what they experience. That is the most important thing you need to do. Be there for them emotionally, correct? Let them accept it. Let them discuss it out with you. Let them find ways to handle it. Help them, support them in the process, correct? Certain times, when you also tell them that how you had fear, and in spite of the fear, you actually used it to win a game or participate in some competitions. Give some examples that will help them too, right? So this is the first thing you need to do as a parent. Because what is fear? Fear is nothing but a state of mind, emotional state, I would mean. We all go through emotions every day. It's like morning, you get up with certain emotions. It is not that you are stuck with the emotions. You go through different kind of emotions. In a day, you feel sad, happy, excited, lazy, lousy, right? So, and our performance depends on the state of mind. Am I right? A lot of times, we think preparation alone is important. But please understand, preparation is important, no doubt. A child has to prepare. But then the one more important thing what they need to have control of is the state of mind. Correct? For you to understand this better, let me give you an example. Other times, you got up in the morning, you felt very, very energetic, and you ended up doing a lot of things, more than what you expected to do. And at the end of the day, you felt so happy and said, oh, is it really me? I did so many things. Are there days like that in your life? I'm sure they are. And you also had experienced these kind of days too, where you got up in the morning, you felt so lousy, and you went on postponing things because you said, I don't know what happened for me today. I'm not able to do even the smallest thing. At the end of the day, you felt, is it really me? And we tend to blame it on, I think there's a face which I actually saw in the morning. Correct? So actually it's the same you. And how come certain days you are able to accomplish so many things, but there are days where you are not able to do even a simple thing? It is your state of mind. Correct? There is nobody called unresourceful people. They are only unresourceful states of mind. Correct? Those days when your states of mind are so good, you are able to accomplish. And there are days where your state of mind is actually not so good, because of which you ended up not doing so well. Correct? So if you ask me, what creates the state of mind then? We tend to put it on situations, or we tend to put it on others. My state of mind is like this because today I saw that face, or because he said something to me, because she did something to me, all these kind of things. But truly speaking, the state of mind is created by our own selves. For example, have you seen traffic jam, right? I mean, the situation is the same, right? Traffic jam. But you see different people reacting to it different ways. How many times have you stuck in the traffic jam? And how many times have you seen different reactions there? Same situation, traffic jam creates different reactions. There are some people who shout, some people who honk, some people who get out of the car and then start shouting at others, and there are some another set of people who actually read newspaper, listen to music, sleep, read, correct, and they really do well in that situation. So what is the difference here? So obviously state of mind is not created by the situation, because if situation creates it, everybody has to react it similarly, right? But how come different people are reacting in different ways? It is because it is created not by the situation, not by the people around us. It's actually created by our own selves. Correct? So this is the most important awareness we must have. The state of mind is created by our own selves. And what creates a particular state of mind? Our state of mind is created by our thoughts and our body. So what are thoughts? Thoughts are nothing but certain pictures we run in our mind, and certain sounds we hear in our mind. Agree with me? So once we know state of mind is created by our own selves, we have more control to change our states. Correct? So as a parent, how you could help your child to to change the state of mind, change that fear? So as a parent, what you could do? So that is a question here. As a parent, what you can do is this. Once you understand the thoughts are nothing but a mixture of our sounds, or mixture of pictures, right? So for example, when I say sound means what? The sounds we hear in our mind, because we keep talking to ourselves. Am I right? I'm sure you would be thinking, no, am I talking to myself? Which means we keep talking to ourselves in a day, and the way of talking or the quality of our talk decides our performance in a day, right? So the children also go through this. So it has constantly affecting them a lot. So to work with the children. So for example, a child sits in front of a maths problem and says, I can't do this. Modify that language pattern. At least give it a try. If I can't, then I must. So those kind of positive ways or modifying the self-talk will help them a lot to perform. That's what we do in our programs too. We actually help them to change the way they talk to themselves. So when they say I can't, we tell them, if I can't, then I must. So this is, or if they say it is not possible for me to do this, anything is possible. It's a question of right strategy. So these kind of modifying the way they talk helps them to perform better, because our state of mind is controlled by the thoughts are created by the sounds. So, and also certain times you also give them specific feedback. When I say specific feedback, positive feedback. Whenever they do something positive, you give them a positive feedback. Good, you actually got up today half an hour early. Good, actually you spent today lesser time to finish your homework. So these kind of small specific positive feedback you give, it creates a better state of mind, better confidence in them, right? So many times parents actually give 10 times more negative feedbacks than positive. You think for yourself, how many times we tell the children, don't do this, don't do that, don't do that, and how many times we tell them, you are actually doing this well, you are doing that well, you said this well. How many times you do that? So the more you talk to them, give them positive feedback on their performance, it encourages them to do well. Apart from that, to create a better visual impact, right, always work with them to create a beautiful examination goal poster. So that actually you can help them out to write the subject and the marks they really want to get. So make it very nice, paste it in their room. That creates a lot of motivation for them, a visual impact on them, so that the state of mind becomes better. Next thing you could do is support your child's confidence, help them to build confidence. Create a relaxed atmosphere at home. I have seen a lot of times what happens, the children and the parents will be in jolly, happy mood, and suddenly study time comes or the exam time comes, everything becomes serious. TV stop, laugh stop, fun stop, everything is serious. And what it conveys to your child, what does it convey? It conveys, oh, exams are something painful, something is serious. Because my mother was so happy, so so funny, and suddenly she turned very serious, and she's not she's not letting me get out of my table to even for sip of water. She's not allowing me, and she's keeping on a vigil on me. So these kind of thoughts actually creates a feeling that study time is a painful time, and the moment that the thought of pain comes in them, they actually move away from the pain. As a human being, it's our tendency, am I right? Anything painful, we want to move away. Anything nice and pleasant, we want to move towards it. So the most important thing as a parent you need to do is create a relaxed atmosphere, irrespective of it is an exam time or not, or a study time or not. Let them feel good about study time. Be happy. Allow them to take certain breaks. It's okay. Nobody can concentrate continuously, for hours together. Everybody needs a break. And it depends on person to person. So let them take short breaks. It's okay to do that, right? And also allow them to have their own way of studying. Certain children want to, sit and study. Certain children want to walk and study. It's okay. So never put too many restrictions and make it look like, it is like a serious time. So that changes their attitude towards the exam. And also create a right atmosphere, because where they sit, make that place, the sitting upright, because our body also controls our state of mind, right? So the moment the body slouches, they have that laziness creeping in. So better make them sit upright, and neat table. All these things will help them to create the right atmosphere for them to study well for the examination. And many times focus on the conceptual understanding rather than checking their memory power. I have seen a lot of parents who keep asking them to buy hard things. That is not going to help. So it's better to have the understanding about the concepts that would give them a better confidence when they go and face the examinations. So these are some of the things what you could do as a parent for them to do very well in their examinations. And apart from that, parents, last but not the least, take charge of your mind. Remember, your state of mind also has an impact on them. If you are constantly angry, constantly irritated, constantly tensed, your child is also going to feel the same, because state of mind is contagious. And also remember, what you focus will magnify. Okay? If you focus on negatives, they will magnify. If you focus on positives, that will magnify. That is the power of your mind. So thanks for being there with me. All the best for your child for the examination. Thanks a lot.